Hey, Steph here from Roots and Remedies. I wanted to give you an overview of how I planned my herb garden raised bed, all of the different iterations it went through, and then how I kind of put it together and got things going. So here you can see my handy dandy Nintendo garden planning notebook. And I always do this. I draw a rough outline of the garden shape and everything that I wanted to go in there because I really wanted to make sure that everything, these are all perennials, right? So I wanted to make sure that I didn't have tiny things in the back and then really big things in the front. So I wrote down how tall everything would get, the colors. If I wasn't as familiar or if it was a newer herb to me, I kind of wrote down even what it could be used for, what it was good for. And that helped me see like these ones that get, really, really big and tall, I tried to put across the back and at the ends here. So you can kind of see in this video, I'm just going through and showing you how I mapped that out and planned that out. Anything that was 2 to 3 feet tall, I kind of put in the back. I also pay attention to the color a little bit because I want to make sure I mix in some color. The yarrow blend that I bought is a mix. So there's like multiple colors in the seed packets and you kind of don't know what you're going to get. So at first I only had it planned for one and then I was like, no, let me put in two just in case I have a chance of getting a better color. Now, before we get into the bed itself, I wanted to show you an update because this is a 2x8 bed and you probably noticed in my little oval, I had it as a 2x4 because I do plants, not math. So I redesigned it and then you can see I kind of changed my mind with a couple of things. I decided not to have like oregano and then calendula and then oregano and then holy basil or something else. I decided I kind of wanted it to be a little bit more uniform since the holy basil can get kind of bigger. I decided to put that in the middle, flanked by the calendula and then the Italian oregano on one end, Greek oregano on the other. And oh, I even pointed to the right ones. How about that? So, hey, it's proof that I'm a human who makes dumb mistakes sometimes. But honestly, that gave me a chance to go back and rethink it a bit. So this is why I always work in pencil. And I have all my gardens in here from past years too, even my big gardens, because I love being able to erase and rethink and anxiously overanalyze, let's be honest. All right, so back to our video here. So this garden bed is from Vego Garden Beds. It is their 9-in-1, and that just means it can do like 9 different shapes, configurations, whatever. I wanted the 2x8, so I set it up as the 2x8. You can see we have this on our side garden bed, and it's built up with a bunch of rock under it because we needed it to connect with the height of the stuff going on in the backyard. Eventually, this down here is going to be like a retaining wall so that you can see some of the wall pieces there. This is going to be a project that takes a while. So in a year, maybe 2, fingers crossed, I can show you the update there. But I really do like this bed. Being 17 inches tall gives you plenty of room for roots, but it also means it can be really expensive to fill with compost. So don't. I use something called the hugelkultur method. Maybe I'll do another video on that. I didn't take videos as we were filling it. I just snapped pictures. But the basics are, at the very bottom of this bed, I did a layer of thicker, more heavy-duty landscape fabric. It's like the light gray stuff, not the black stuff. Then a whole bunch of cardboard. We had gotten a big delivery of something else and had a bunch of cardboard. So there's layers and layers and layers of cardboard at the bottom of that, because again, that kind of helps prevent weeds coming up, though if they want to come up through a foot of rock, good luck. And eventually the cardboard will break down over time and just provide, composted material back to the soil here. And then I had saved our Christmas tree. I did not let the borough come and recycle it because I wanted that. So it has been sitting on the side of our shed for, I don't know, since December. Again, not a math person. You tell me how many months. And I chopped it into bits, just branch by branch, and filled the bottom, I would say 6 inches was like cardboard and a good chunk of the Christmas tree. And then in all the little cracks, other sticks and debris from garden cleanup. So then that kind of filled the bed, honestly, pretty close to the top, but there's like lots of grooves and crevices for roots. And then I dumped the compost in. So that really helps save cost. And then having especially the wood, the old wood in there, that brings lots of good fungi and like lovely stuff. And it'll break down over time, but much, much slower. So you're not going to be having to top this bed off constantly, especially with something like herbs that you're not really going to dig up and repot all of the time. You don't want to need to keep topping this off, right? So that was the plan there. And then the first plants that I had ready were the rosemary, the echinacea, and the lemon balm because I grew those from seed last spring. So they stayed as tiny, tiny babies. The echinacea all stayed outside. It overwintered just fine, even as small as it was. The lemon balm I had brought inside for the winter, as well as the rosemary. So you can see they were looking a little rough. They look a lot better now. I took this video this morning. Now we have the Italian oregano, the calendula, the yarrow, the 2 holy basils, another yarrow, another calendula, and then our Greek oregano. And now you can see the lemon balm looking much greener and happier that it's been outside. And you can see in just, 2 weeks, how much bigger that echinacea got. So very excited. And then over here at the end, we have room for another, whoops, I didn't want to start the video again. Anyway, here we are. For another, I think we're going to do a 2x, was it a 2x4? I don't remember, but another smaller oval. And I just want to put flowers over there, really big flowers. I'm thinking sunflower, zinnia, cosmos, bachelor buttons, just big bright color because that's like right at the front of the house. And it's right next to another pollinator garden I have that has lavender, black-eyed Susans, bee balm, all different kinds of salvias and sages that already bring a bunch of pollinators, but you can never have too many and you can never have too much color. So I'm really happy that everything is in now. And all of these things in here on their own can get pretty big. On their own, some of them can even really, really spread. So when you do square foot gardening and you pack things into slightly smaller spaces, it keeps them smaller, it keeps them a little bit more organized. And you'll be surprised what you can actually get away with. I am a bit of a rule breaker when it comes to the garden. It is May 4th. May the 4th be with you. And my tomatoes are hardened off and planted outside when everybody in my local gardening groups is absolutely screaming at each other that you can't plant till after Mother's Day, everything will die. Mine's outside and it's fine. You just have to know your bed conditions. You have to know your soil temperatures. You have to have good, strong seeds to start. You've got to take care of them well. You've got to harden them off right. So I'll continue to cover all stuff like that on this channel. In fact, I might do a little bit of a rebel tomato planting video in a couple of days because I think it'll stir some drama and that's always fun. But no, it's really proof that, look, things do change. Our gardening zone here actually changed. We used to be 6B. Now we're 7A, and that means a couple weeks difference. So why are we still waiting, right? So if we can plant things a little bit earlier, get them going a little bit sooner, we're not waiting till August or September for these harvests, right? So I will keep you guys posted throughout the spring and summer to see how these herbs are doing. I also want to make some videos about what I use them for because you can see in my notes, I like to be able to use them for teas, tinctures, salves, balms, like anything that they can be helpful for, because if you can grow some things for free to help you save money in this economy, why not, right? So hit me up in the comments, ask your questions, let me know if there's something that you want me to cover a video on, and I will see you guys soon.